you are already a qualified person, so we can build up the base from there. There is nothing called basic knowledge here. We will just top up our skills with the additional leadership skills and how to see broad. If you see, the topic is CFO training, and we will think about financial innovation and entrepreneurship. When we say entrepreneurship, does not mean that you will go and start your own work. This is okay, your choice. Maybe after training you feel that yes, this was the main cut in your personality that you find. But entrepreneurship is your mental freedom about work, about your ideas, your dreams, how to complete them. It is with employer, without employer, it is with the current conditions, or you will build up a new condition. This is all optional for you. Innovation has, now you are in United Arab Emirates, where we are the leaders in innovation on government levels. If you know that the demographics of UAE, we have the first lady pilots who has joined Emirates Airline, and they are heading A380. This is the biggest plane. UAE is going to send the first female astronaut in this year in the space. Plus we have created some latest technology systems which even Americans are quite attractive towards. So innovation in this region particularly is too much. We are working on innovation, especially financial innovation, because money really matters when you have an idea. And the finance guys become really important because you have to bridge an idea with the money calculations, business plans, feasibilities. So here it comes the role. Today the agenda is very comprehensive. We are going to discuss what is the role of CFO. This is, most of you are doing the job. Role of CFO, interestingly, in every country, everyone is doing it's their own way, in their own styles. If there are like 20 CFOs and I ask what you do, so you will see there would be 20 different opinions comes, because every country assume that this is a qualification and these works associated with this particular qualification. Like in UAE, if when we talk about finance, when we talk about loans, we need a person who will deal with the banks, financial institutions. So the first idea come for a qualification called CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. Now we are going to introduce taxation starting from next year. That will be a VAT. So now the tax consultants has a great scope in UAE. This is the emerging trend. Then when it talks about accounting, pure accountings, we need accountants like maybe CAs and CPAs. This is how it goes. And plus for management decision making, we have a different qualification called CMA. For head of internal audits are CIAs. So in some certain countries we have specialized qualification. There is nothing called generalized qualification. You fit the guy, he is capable, he's able to do, but still there is a concept of speciality. Some countries, they don't have concept of specialities. They have just one umbrella, and they will try to fit all the sub roles of finance and accounting under that particular umbrella. So we will see like what should be a role of CFO. This is surely based on American style. It may differ in Britain, it may differ in other part of the world, but of course that's a standard knowledge that we have to go through with. We'll see how we innovate in finance. Generally, there's a big criticism when even myself as an accounting professional, I had some companies. So people ask me like, you are an accountant, this is business, this is different, what about marketing, what about business plan, what about pricing, So that point of time, I explained them, look, a good accountant is a base for a better decision making in terms of innovation and excellence. So we will take up like what is the advantage to be a finance background when you are going to innovate, when you are going to create newness. This innovation can be on any level. For example, you are a listed company and you have issued your shares, and now I'm checking your cost of capital, and I need to be innovative to produce different kind of cost-effective ways to produce an effective rate as a cost of capital or ROI or all typical accounting terms that we know, how to restructure, how to build, how to innovate. You might always heard about UAE that one company is going to merge with another one, like Emirates Bank was separate, NBD was separate, now this is Emirates NBD. Aldar is the biggest construction company here in Abu Dhabi, and there is another one was Shuru, so they merged 2-3 years before, and couple of other you can see the financial innovations. That is because in certain companies, when the government entities goes in bankruptcy, then they start thinking, oh, what happened, and the best solution they find is to privatize it, to sell it to the private people, But in other part of the world where you have a smart government, where you own your assets, it's pretty different. You try to see what are the new ways, and merger and acquisition is something that is now it's a trend in the world because it's create financial cost saving. You synergize the management structures, and a lot of other things comes into being. So we will discuss in detail financial innovation, then financial entrepreneurship means how to create something that you can proud on, and we will see what is the definition of entrepreneurship and how it affects the leadership, your business profitability, your business models. You might have seen some CFOs, when they join a company, this company might be a medium size or maybe small size or a big size, but with their vision and their growth, they see that in 6 to 7 years, you can see that this company has grown. If it is grown, means there is a lot of contribution of the guy who is heading the finance. I have seen a couple of times that a guy joined a company, and he brought a concept of portfolio management. Maybe you were doing one work and you were doing really good, but modern sciences says that we should not put our eggs in one basket, so we should have different baskets. We should divide the money into different businesses, and every business is going to give a different return. So based on that concept, if you have taken or you will take some initiatives that the company was based without portfolio, and you bring portfolio, maybe forward integration, backward integration, conglomerates like different businesses, this is your choice and understanding to the business itself. And of course, you need a management support, you need directors support in all your visions. If you will get that, the group is going to grow. In UAE, we have seen a trend here. There are a lot of CEOs now, they were CFOs before, And even Emirates NBD is the largest bank in UAE. The guy who was heading as CFO, he is working as CEO. And there are other examples also available. How to develop business budgets and business plans. This is really important. If I want to grow, I want to think out of the box. The first thing is the standard template that we generally use, business plan. And this is in the extension of that what we discuss, that what you are thinking, what will be the expected cash flows, and what will be the 5-year, 10-year profitabilities. This is we will recap. Gain a deeper understanding of corporate finance. Maybe it will go till tomorrow, and we invite a very good banker who is heading a division here and wholesale banking, and they will be more technically discuss about EBOR and the rates and IRR products, different structured, non-structured products. And in the last, of course, we will do case study that is on innovation financing. So before I start, generally, in our case, we follow a case study method. And in your text, you have 2 cases today, I think. One is the Zipcar and one is the JVs. We talk about innovation. Innovation is something that is a core characteristic of a CFO, should be a core characteristic. A CFO without innovation is only an accountant who has no capacity to think like an entrepreneur. So what makes you a different is critical thinking and innovation. This case that we are discussing is redefining the business model. So maybe tomorrow you get a challenging job. Sometimes you are looking for a job, and sometimes job is looking for you. There are some advertisement you saw, 25-year experience in such and such so will head the organization, right? So sometime we are looking for a job, but we have to bring ourselves in that charismatic personality and reputation where people start feeling that if we hire this CFO, he or she is going to change the life of the organization. So the first thing that a CFO has to develop is innovation. What is innovation? Is keeping from the limited resources, you are going to come up with some new ideas and new solutions. Generally, when you talk about a marketing campaign, the first reaction for a normal person is how much money, okay, let's call this company and pay money to them. So this is not innovation, this is a procedure. Innovation is with using limited resources, you get the smartest, quickest, and the most impressive results. Where you have to spend the money, you spend money. Where you don't have to spend the resources, what kind of capital structure we need to introduce? Should we take loans? Should we issue IPOs? Should I go for a joint venture? These are the things that are innovative ideas. You cannot wait till you have a bundle of cash in your account and then you will start your business. It's not this way. You should have bundle of ideas and you should have innovative capabilities that will guide you towards your destination. I was listening one video by chance on a Facebook maybe 2 weeks before. There was an entrepreneur, or you can say a sale expert. He was saying, be your own boss, no gain of doing jobs. It was an over version of, I feel he was a little bit over than the reality. It's not possible that everyone become be on your boss. This is not the good idea. The first thing that you have to see is your personality. What is your personality, right? We have a full day training for testing a CFO personality. If you follow our 16 there are 16 personalities in the world, and you have to fall somewhere between these 16, and there are 90 questions that you have to answer. So we will reach to your personality, that you are a CFO of which style, which capability, what you can do, how much creativity you have. Same like when someone analyzed Steve Jobs, you heard about his Apple. The max point he used to get is creativity. He was so creative. It is popular, and all writers who wrote about him. I met last year a guy, his name is John. He was the coach for Steve Jobs, and he used to test his creative skills. So innovation is the first point that we need to bring it. So this is a typical definition of innovation. How it works is, he says, creation of new ideas and processes which will lead to a change in an enterprise, economic or social potentials. As a CFO, you should have this capability of thinking new ideas. And as I told you, I know a lot of people, when they join the group or a company, it was 1 or 2 companies, but they took them into different financing models, and they start new businesses for them. And this is how you grow, actually. One of my friend is also a chartered accountant, and he joined a group. It was a hotel only from last 20 years, and it was owned land and owned property. They don't have any liabilities. So he get an X amount of salary. Now, because he was innovative, so he used to think that this is what I'm taking out of this business is the max. This employer cannot give me any bigger salary. So he has 2 options. One is to find for a new job, or the other option is, I will find new ways to grow this owner so I can take more. When he will grow, I will grow. So he took this approach, and he sat with the director. He told, we have certain and certain assets which we are not using, and what we should do is, let's plan a school for this land, and then let's plan another business on this another land. And he said, okay, I don't mind until you arrange finance, you run, you are the full person in charge. Right? So he came to his office, he started making business plans, feasibilities, he talked with the banks, some private investors, and now as of today, they are bigger than what they were there 5 years before. So this is what is innovation. Innovation is bringing new ideas in thinking of management, style, operations, and later we'll see continuous development, balanced scorecard. Here in UAE we have Shaikh Khalifa Excellence Award, for Dubai separate, for Abu Dhabi separate, and we have created separate departments for that. These guys are thinking they have to prove that what innovation they bring in their group, what new they did, how they implement balanced scorecard. This is we'll discuss today, and the other key parameters that build you a learning organization. And there is a lot of things on CFO shoulder, because CFOs are the mind and the sound of the board. So until any CEO, if he take decisions without finance, without CFOs, that will not be effective. That can be good in talks, but when it comes to the implementation of the projects, that has a chance of failure. That's why CEO and CFOs has to work together. In CEO trainings, we tell CEOs to learn finance. We do it backward integration with their front-end skills. And in CFO trainings, we build CFOs with forward thinking like innovation, business planning, analysis, redefinition. This is what is the integral part of any kind of high-end CFO, that he has innovation, that is creating new ideas.